Welcome everybody. I'm Janet Pearson. I'm the head of South by Southwest Film. And it's just a privilege and an honor to see you all here. It just couldn't be more exciting. This is the 30th year of South by Southwest. It's the 23rd year of South by Southwest Film. It's my 8th year, and it's opening night. You know, it's not the first show. As you know, there are films going all around. We're in like 10 or 12 venues. We started around 5 o'clock, and films are going to be showing. There's a whole wave coming again at 10 o'clock, and we start tomorrow at like 11 in the morning, and the films run through the 19th from 11 in the morning through midnight shows. We are thrilled with our program this year, as we have been, any number of years. How many of you are first-time South Byers? Welcome. And for everybody else can tell you how much fun you're about to have, we encourage you to just come as much as you can, take chances. People bring their films here because of you, because of the smarts and the enthusiasm that you have, and it's just, we hear it over and over again, that filmmakers are thrilled to premiere their work in front of you. So this night, of course, it's opening night, which would be great, but it's extra special because of what film that we're celebrating. I live here because of the man who made it. That's why I moved here. I sort of, I don't know, worship at the altar, I guess. But I'm going to bring out somebody to help do the introduction. I'd like to bring out somebody who co-starred in this event, who's been at the root of so much of Austin film, and who actually has an amazing film about Richard Linklater that's playing here tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'd like to bring out Louis Black.
Thank you all so much. Welcome to the first night of the 30th year of South by Southwest.
It's first night jitters, so let me work out the kinks here for a second. Before Louis takes over, actually I want to thank Megan Ellison, Anna Perna, Stephen Feder, and Paramount for making this evening possible.
We started South by Southwest 30 years ago. 4 guys sat around at the Chronicle offices for a couple of weeks. In November of 1986, we decided we should do a regional music conference, bringing people in 4 or 5 states together who were in the music business who had never met. And so in March of 1987, we did the first South by Southwest. And actually, there's a tragic footnote, which is this morning, Louis Myers, who was the 4th partner in South by Southwest and left after a few years, died. And so it's a very sad occasion for this 30th anniversary, which is actually very joyous, to start with the death of a dear friend. But we started it, just people sitting around talking. And once there was some momentum on music, in '93, we said, okay, now we get to do what we really want to do, which is we wanted to have our own little boutique film festival. And we weren't looking for a big film festival. We thought we'd show our friends films. And the first year we did it, the Austin American Statesman dissed it by saying, when they saw the film schedule, said, well, this looks like the Friends of Louis Black. And our thought was, well, that's the idea. There were 500 film festivals. We weren't going to go out and compete with those. We love watching movies. We'd watch movies with our friends. We kind of hadn't thought about the fact that there was a guy named Richard Linklater who had made a film called Slacker, and then in '91 decided to stay in Austin, and not go to LA, and not go to Nashville, and not go to New York, but to stay here in Austin. And the consequences of that decision are reverberating every day of our lives in Austin. The film scene that you see in Austin, which is unique, really, in the world, where you have Hollywood studio filmmakers and indie filmmakers and experimental filmmakers and animators, all know each other, all work together, all work in the same community. And that was because Rick stayed and because he stayed involved. And I really, literally, when we started the film festival, there were 500. We never thought we would get traction. We weren't really interested in traction. We liked showing movies. 4 years into it, '98, I'm standing around the South by Southwest Film, which at that point was 4 years old, and there's Richard Richard Linklater and Robert Rodriguez and Mike Judge and Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith and Steven Soderbergh and Guillermo del Toro and John Pearson and John Sloss. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my God, if the roof falls in, American independent film is dead. So you dance, so it's thrilling, 30 years along, to kick off this event with a new film by one of the great filmmakers, our hometown hero, and somebody who's done some extraordinary films. And I have to throw in a quick commercial, which is tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Karen Bernstein and my documentary on Dream is Destiny, Richard Linklater, Dream is Destiny, is showing here, and let me highly recommend it. And then on Monday, there's Rick Linklater, Jonathan Searing, Mark Rance, and I just restored a film called Last Night at the Alamo. We will be screening it on Monday. And as somebody said on Facebook, which I thought was perfect, which was, the drunk Texans, Citizen Kane. So I want to throw this, but tonight is a celebration of a remarkable film. Everybody wants something made by a remarkable filmmaker, Richard Linklater, and it's not just this film, this night, in this theater. This entire event is because of a consequence of Richard and his passion for film, and his passion for culture, and his passion for community. And so there's literally no better way to start the 30th year of South by Southwest. I'm proud to introduce Richard Linklater.
One that qualifies to be opening night. It does, we just had so much fun making this movie. It's such a wonderful cast that I'll bring them out really quick. We'll be around after and we'll answer any and all questions. But I just want to introduce you to this wonderful cast. Like I said, we just had so much fun. Okay, ladies first, Zoe Deutsch. Yeah! Brett Jenner. Tyler Hickman. Lynn Powell. Timothy Maverick Baker. Forrest Vickery. Will Green. Tanner Correa. Is that Quentin Johnson? Wyatt Russell and Justin Street. I think that's everybody. So anyway, I don't know what to say about this film. 1980, college. I always said we had a good time. We were supposed to have a special guest here tonight. I mean, you guys all know Obama was in town today. He was going to be here, but he couldn't make it. He was going to introduce this film, but he didn't. I heard he sent a thing. Is that true? I'm not sure. There's a rumor. Wait. That's as good an intro as I could. He's actually right. We were in college at the same time. 1980 was a very fun time to be in college, I found out, making this movie. So we hope you guys enjoy the film, and we'll all be around after. And all right, rock on. Thank you. So before we bring the cast out, I just want to thank a few people. Thank you, Janet, again, for having us. Thank you. It's just always so cool to watch a film in the Paramount. We just love it here. That was great. And I also want to thank the other Paramount in my life, who's Paramount Studios, distributing the film, and my producers, Megan Ellison. It was really hard to get this movie made. I've been trying to make this movie for a long time, and I just feel so grateful to finally get it made. And I just want to thank Megan Ellison, Paramount, my other producers, Ginger Sledge, Stephen Feeder, John Sloss, a couple department heads here, My editor, Sandra Adair, is here. Production designer, Bruce Curtis. Casting director, Vicky Boone is here. So, Mike Sines, another editor. I think that I'm forgetting a few people. But anyway, without further ado, I want to welcome back to the stage my cast.
For Q&A, but I'm going to start with the first one. So, who is the best ball player of the bunch?
Let's see. Besides me,
Glenn.
You know what? Can I say this? Casting this movie, they're all athletes. They're all. Some of them didn't play baseball, but I was looking for that kind of swagger that you get with a young, entitled athlete, and every one of them has that. Some played basketball, and it was so fun. Because, everyone says we were casting the movie that, oh yeah, I can play ball. So the next thing was like, okay, well put yourself on video. Skills, throwing and hitting, just let me see it. And they all sent in videos and things. Except this guy, Tyler. He sent in some ESPN footage from him playing, so I think he's the highest ranking.
Streeter's up there. UT.
Ryan Guzman, the guy who isn't here, the one guy in the cast who isn't here, he's in production or something. He played some college football. I don't think we answered the question.
Well, the casting, of course, is so phenomenal. So, can you actually talk more about that? More?
Well, it's a big ensemble, so you're looking for unique, people who will really stand out. And a lot of it's kind of, we all lived together for 3 weeks out at my place in Bastrop at this bunkhouse. So, you guys feel free to jump in here anywhere you want. Since you guys were living together, I was like, so we just kind of bonded and rehearsed and rewrote, a lot of the script and just kind of workshopped it, I guess. So that's when brought out, I think, individual characteristics of each guy and just tried to make it, let them bring themselves to a larger group. So well, that's the fun part, and a challenge, the big ensemble.
I'm hoping that this was a big moment for you and great, and I'd love to hear what it was like to watch this with this audience here. Just pass the mic down.
Yeah.
I feel like this Q&A is very representative of what it was like working together in the very beginning. It's no one really wanted to steal the show in the ensemble, which is a great thing. Everyone was just constantly pushing everybody else, so that's kind of what it feels like right now. No one wants to take the mic. It's kind of what it feels like.
Well, it was pretty incredible, man. I had never played a lick of baseball in my life, and we had some vets here. Oh yeah. Well, I'm sick, Rick. I'm sick. Trust me.
I can do that.
Yeah, but everybody here was in on the brotherhood equally. I'd never been around a group of people who was just as caring for one dude as the other, as the other, as the other. So it was we were all in it together, 100%. So it was awesome.
Well, I learned how to be a damn fine wing woman amongst all these handsome men. I feel more of a dude than all of you at times. I feel like you guys might agree. But no, to answer your question, watching it was spectacular. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those special moments where it's a film that I think we're all just so incredibly proud of. So to be able to share it, and be able to talk about it with passion and pride that's not forced is a really incredible thing. So I think we're just happy to do that.
The main thing I learned is you can't judge people by the pictures you see on the internet, because I saw Blake's haircut and I thought I would hate him straight up. I was 100% confident I would hate him. Great guy. Great guy.
Thanks, man. I'm not going to follow that up. What's the question? What are we on then?
Well, the question was, want to talk about what it was like to watch this film now with this audience.
Oh, it was incredible to watch it in Austin, Texas with an audience. You guys were awesome. Give yourself a round of applause. I mean, you know, it's what we've all been waiting on. It's what we were saying, you know, about an hour before the film. This is crazy. This is sort of the end of the line for us in this project and the start of this project for you guys. So it's great to kick it off with a bunch of Texans. Right.
Can I say there was a lot of Texans in the cast? All Texans, take a step forward. A lot of them. Not too good on the other guys. You guys are cool too. You know, it's just. Hey, can I acknowledge before I forget? My own college teammates and roommates, quite a few of them are here tonight. So Bearcats, just stand up. That's what was going on.
Well, unless anybody else wants to jump in and didn't get a chance.
Yeah, I
got the
mic, so I guess I'll go. That was our fifth time seeing it, and that was the best crowd ever. You guys were awesome. That was incredible. It was really good. We went and saw it at the Marquesa, and you guys were like laughing at every joke. That was awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Made me feel normal. Yeah, it was a good, I mean, like, the only thing I wanted to say was that, like, you know, you always, like, when you get onto a set as an actor, you're coming in, and I was a ball player, so you're always kind of like, you know, like, dude, I'm going to be real, you know, I'm going to be a real person, I don't want to do that, you know, be, like, actory and cool, you know, and it turns out every single one of us was coming in saying the exact same thing. We were trying to sniff out the dude who's the bad one, and we couldn't find him. And so that was what was the truth of the whole group, is there was really not a bad apple. Like a whole group of genuine people that you will go, I got a new family. And it just showed. That's good.
All right, questions from the audience? Yes. I'll repeat the question so that everybody can hear upstairs. Wyatt had the best line. Wyatt had the best line about embracing your inner strange. And so who had the most? Was the most? Who's the strangest?
I'm going to give the political answer, since we are in an election cycle, and say that it's all of us that have embraced our inner strange, including you in this room, because you guys responded to our strange so well. Everybody had their own moment. Everybody had their own way of bringing their inner strange to the character. That's actually the truth. And because everybody started off with who their character was as it was written on the page, and when we went into Rick's library, and we all started to realize, like, wait a second, I think he wants us to improv, right? Give it a shot, and then you start to find yourself and find who the character is. And you go home and sleep at night and talk to people, and they give you ideas, and you'd be like, hey, I got this great idea, what about if you did this? And everybody's inner strange formed a great energetic strange ball that you just saw thrown on the screen, and hopefully it came off without a hitch.
Question on the other side. Is your hand up? Yeah. The question is, what advice does Rick have for people who want to hit the top of the filmmaking game and stay in Austin?
I don't know. Is that much of an ambition? I don't know. Lewis made this documentary about me. Go see that. My answer will be in there somewhere.
Or anybody up top? Yes, go ahead. Sure. Stand up.
So, I noticed you said you collaborated with the actors on writing it, but what did you write beforehand, and can you go more in depth about how you collaborated with them?
The question is sort of the difference between the original script that Rick wrote and then the collaboration with the actors got
definitely a
involved.
script. You don't get it made if there's not a script. But it was kind of like moving things around too. Like as we got into character, it's like I don't think your character would say that, but that guy would. And then just moving things around. And I gotta say, these guys were so generous, throwing stuff to the other guys. You know, I think in a lot of movies there's a tendency like there's a few the guys with the most words, and then everyone else can kind of get lost. I'd say the 6, if you divided it, maybe the 6 less written parts really came up in this process we described. Those parts really got bigger, their presence, so no one sort of disappeared out of the movie. That can happen. And I think that's because of the generosity of, you know, the ones with probably more lines who were giving. You know, it was really a wonderful team effort. You know, it's kind of the best ensemble experience I've had in that way, for sure. Just to have a team. And, you know, we fell into like baseball. I was the coach, and we had a goal, and, you know, we were just there to support one another. You know, when guys weren't shooting, they would still come to the set. The last thing we did, remember we were in the car, it was like 3:40 in the morning, freezing cold, and it was really just you. We were in the backseat of the car, we owed that shot. And the whole look up and everybody's there. To be there at the end. But that's how it was. Everybody was just totally there for each other. That's what you want for your baseball team and your ensemble. You know, to be there for each other.
Yes, sure, go ahead. Stand up so I can hear you. The question was how great a lot of the locales were, how Austin the music was, and wanting to hear about how.
You know, we filmed it here in Central Texas. I think the farthest away we got, the baseball field is in Weimar, so that's pretty far away near LaGrange. But actually, this movie's set, if you look closely, it's set in Southeast Texas. That's the name of the school, Southeast Texas State, the school we went at. But and for me, it was based on my own experience in East Texas at college. So. I think the thing that's most Austin-based to me was I remember taking a road trip my freshman year of college to Austin, and that's where I wandered into Raoul's, and that punk club is kind of an homage to that. So that's probably the single most Austin thing from my own experience. But yeah, it's still kind of an Austin locations and all that. So it was really fun recreating all that, the disco and country bars and all that.
Before we forget, you're going to be on a panel tomorrow. For those of you with badges, you're going to be at a South by Sports panel tomorrow at 12:30.
South by Sports. South by everything.
Which means what that means actually is that because this is part of South by Sports track, it means that interactive with badges can actually come into this film as well. The film's played several times through the festival, so you know, please spread the word. So it's packed out. But tomorrow at 12:30 at the Four Seasons, Rick and one of his original team members and one of these team members are going to be talking about time. Any more questions?
Up here.
All right, go ahead.
You talked about this, Rich, being based on your own experiences, and as an artist, I find that the more personal a story is, the more universal it is, and I think it showed with me with this because I don't like disco or country or baseball, but I love your movie.
That's completely legitimate. I didn't necessarily like all that either. You know, at the time, you know, you would say, I told the guys because they were like asking about the music. I said, you would never admit to liking disco. You'd probably have a T-shirt that said disco sucks, but you would go there, you know, chasing ladies, and you just go there socially. So you kind of didn't admit to liking much of it, but you were there. You know, so that's what college felt like to me.
For those who couldn't hear, he was also just talking about how the personal went for him universally because he loved it, even though he hated all that.
Yeah, and truthfully, almost everything in this movie, in one way or another, really happened. The only thing I borrowed from someone else was the getting taped. We had a cyclone fence with kind of an ivy wall. That happened to a friend of mine at his school in Louisiana. But I thought that was just a funny image, guys, duct taped to a wall. But you needed a wooden fence, which, you know, there's less of those around. That's why we drove all the way to Weimar and found that field.
When will people be able to see this film?
Oh, it opens April 1st in some places and then kind of rolls out after that. So April 1st?
That's right. Maybe 2 more, yes? Go ahead.
Hi. So, which character do you see yourself most as, like, in your college years? And then which character was most like the actor?
Wait, what?
Which actor was most like their character? And then which one?
Oh, yeah, it's great. It's great. But the question is, which of the characters was most like Rick, and then which of the actors was most actually like their character?
We're going to put this up for a vote. Which of you is the most like your character? I feel myself kind of scattered, through everybody, really. I'm pretty close. But I think maybe as the freshman coming in and being in a situation where it's mostly an upperclassmen team, that was probably Jake's, showing up and not knowing anybody. That freshman thing. So on the team I was on, there was only about 3 freshmen who made it through the year. My roommate, who's Buter, he only lasted about 3 weeks. So while he was gone, I had the room to myself all year.
One last question. Got it? All right, go ahead. Oh, yeah, I can't see the balcony, but go ahead, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are we allowed to ask specific questions to the actors?
Yes. Please do.
Zoe, I have a question for you. I'm a senior in high school, and I was wondering, would you go to my prom with me?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. I'm not wearing heels though. That's not happening. Sneakers only. That cool with you? Okay.
I'm actually going to go with one more after that. Okay, you're in the corner here. Yeah. Question is, what was it like living in 1980? Start at the end, because we haven't been to hear the guys on the all the money at first. Yeah.
What was the question?
What was it like living in 1980?
I mean, we woke up, every morning we were listening to a soundtrack put together by Rick that was just full of music from 1980. The set and everything on it, we couldn't high-five because high-fives weren't even part of 1980 at that point. We had to high-five and hug in a very specific way. Rick wouldn't let us act up on that. So we had to love each other in 1980, which is, it presents its own set of problems, But I gotta say, Rick is all about authenticity. We call him Rickipedia because he's so accurate with every bit of knowledge. We were like, oh, what if we drop this song in? He's like, nah, that was in 1981, I think August 26th. And we're like, shit. Damn, Rick. So Rickipedia kept us in line, so that's how we lived in 1980.
Huh?
What's up, Austin, Texas?
I would go home and I wouldn't like to look at my cell phone because there was just something more peaceful about it. It was just no, it was very authentic. I felt like it was a weird thing. I felt like I tapped into my old mom and dad's memories, my zygote form was but I really enjoyed it. I love Rick. I love everyone. I think it was just crazy because it was kind of beat into us too because we would go to 4 hours of dance class every day. So we'd be doing disco and country dancing and all that. So that was kind of just beat into our minds.
Yeah, it wasn't 1980 on the ranch, but in his game room where we would go at night, it might as well have been 1980. Just ping pong. It was the most competitive, non-competitive group of people I've ever been with. Like you were playing and would be like, I hope you win. It was like a very strange competitive nature, but we still all like had it bringing us. That was a great time.
I just had to figure out what 1980 was like in this really weird section of Detroit. Where these weirdos hang out, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, polyester! That's it. But I mean, you wake up at 8 a.m. and you get in a band with a bunch of your dudes who are friends, and you go straight to disco, and then you leave and you go straight to baseball practice, and then you head straight to Rick's Ranch and you have mandatory swimming fun time. It was smooth.
This has been such a thrill for us. I speak on behalf of everybody, certainly on behalf of the Southwest Film Festival.